Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name's Samantha. This is the Budget Mum UK. Today's video, I'm going to do a midweek check-in and I'm going to talk to you about how changes that I've made to my self-employed business has impacted from this month, because I put the prices up and I gave them advance notice at the start of February, and this is the first month that my prices went up. And initially I hadn't seen a change. I didn't know what was going to happen, but this week actually things have happened and I'm going to explain to you what has gone on with that. Come on in. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, this channel is for you. If you are into all things to do with cash stuffing, saving, budgeting, and basically living a really decent life without having to spend too much money. I'm a single mum to 2 children, a 14-year-old and a very nearly 2-year-old. And I recently quit my full-time teaching job to spend more time with them and also to set up my own private tutoring company. And that's been running for quite a few months now, but I've just put the prices up. So I'm going to tell you about that and how that's impacted my income and my budget. So if you think that's things that you're going to be interested in, then I would absolutely love it if you would consider subscribing. And if you're already subscribed, then thank you so much, because you know how much it means to me and how much I love you. Thank you. So let's get into today's video. I'll do a quick check-in. Nothing massively exciting this week so far. Well, yeah, so far. The rest is to come. And then I'm going to go over my new figures for my business. Okay. Oh, first up, check out my new pretty pens. I bought these £2. I already colour tested them. £2 they were from The Works. I love The Works. Those are a bargain, because you know, you look at the like the Staedtler ones, they're really expensive. But these they're just colouring great, and I just need some new ones. If you saw my video the other week, last week was it, when I was doing my debt close out and my savings and everything, I didn't like the colours that I had of those glitter ones. So new little treat. They've come out of my business account, so I won't be referring to that as an expenditure for this week, because I feel like they're part of my business and I will use them for tutoring as well. So let's have a look what we spent so far. So today is Friday the 4th. We had Tuesday the 1st, which was a no spend day for me, as was Wednesday and Thursday. I misprinted these when I was sending them out for someone. I really like these, but I might as well use them up, because, you know, waste not, want not. And I actually bought something today because I had to send some money in for Holly. She's in a play next week. Oh, I've written it on here. She's in a play next week. So I bought the tickets for Thursday night. Now they're actually £6 for concession, £7 for like full price. And my mum wanted to come, so I bought 2. Now my mum, I don't know if anyone else is the same. My mum is very good at like this passive aggressive thing where she's like, let me know how much I owe you. As if the way she says it is like, yeah, you ought to be paying for my ticket. So I don't think I'll be getting that back. I don't know, I put 60 on there, it's £13. So I'll just assume I'm not getting the money for it and it comes out of mine. So that's that. I actually took that out of my Time With Me envelope is where I took that from. Yeah, Time With Me. So I took it out of there. So I've just got a bit of change in there. So you never know, I might spend some more yet. I don't know, we'll have a look at that in a second. But other than that, that's the only spending I've done so far this week. I really need to change these binders over. That's this weekend's job, because I've got so many envelopes in here, which is great, but I've got other binders to set up now, so they don't quite all fit in. Yeah, so I've spent £13 on tickets. Yeah, like I said, I don't think I'm going to get that back. So other than that, that's where we're up to. So, right, so basically, I decided to put my prices up. And I've been thinking honest for quite a while. Twofold. One, I've not actually given myself a pay rise for a good while. In fact, I've never given myself a pay rise since setting my tutoring business up. And while I only set it up part-time some years ago, just before COVID, I still had students that returned. So basically these rules can apply for anyone who's self-employed, and the idea is I really wanted to work smarter and not harder. I was finding myself, I'd quit my full-time job to spend more time with the children, but I found myself working super late, especially since I've set up the channel and my little Etsy shop, and everything else was taking more time, and that's fine because I love it, but it was defeating the object of spending time with children, and I was absolutely exhausted. On top of that, I constantly had some students who were chopping and changing, and I'm coming, I'm not coming, I need a break, I need to do this and that and the other, and it meant that I couldn't put in a more consistent, regular, permanent person in place. And that's the hard bit about being self-employed, is that people don't want to pay. They don't see it as, yeah, it's your job, but I always think if you put it in their position, if the employee decided not to pay on the day they were due, there would be absolute uproar, and that's the issue I had, and I still do have to a degree going on. So I wanted to work less without it having a massive impact, and potentially those that I knew were not as serious or as committed would potentially fall off by the wayside, if that makes sense. So I set up myself, and initially I was working Wednesday evening and Friday, I say evenings, like from after school, and I had a couple of students on Saturday morning. Because I got busier, and because word of mouth was going on and everything else, and people were moving around, and that was okay, I ended up with a lot more students, and I ended up working 2 other nights as well, which I didn't really want to do. It meant that Thursday was my only day off. So, and at the time I was charging £25 per session, which was running for 50 to 55 minutes to allow for cleaning in between students. It doesn't always happen. So that's where I was up to. And I was working 2 hours here. These are just hours that I was actually physically teaching and not including prepping time. I had 3 hours here. Wednesday was anything up to 4 hours. It varied on a week by week basis. I had something comes every other week. That's fine. And here I was working, I think it was equivalent of 2.5 hours. And Saturday I was working 1 hour. Drop down. So it's bitty, and that's the line of work that I'm in. Ideally 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.5 hours over just 2 days would be great. But a lot of my students come after school, so I've got to work within those time frames really. So I was bringing home 25 per student for an hour. Some of them worked part of an hour, so it wasn't always a full hour. So where I put, like, for example, 2.5 hours, they might be working a half-hour session or a 45-minute session, depending on what they wanted, and it's worked out pro rata for that. When I put my prices up by the equivalent of £2.50 a week, and obviously this depends on how many days are in the month, and what day the month started on as well, but it worked out at around an extra £120 a month by doing nothing, if I didn't lose any students and if I didn't work less or more. What actually happened since putting them up, I now work just 1 hour on a Monday because somebody moved, they changed. One went from here to over here, so this is now 4 hours, and this becomes 3 hours. And that is the only thing that has changed. So I'm actually working less hours and bringing home more money. Yeah, so I have actually lost a student. I have got another issue at the moment, which is with one parent who is sort of, I know, struggling to pay and keep promising to pay. And I've made the decision that as of next week, I'm just gonna have to say it's not working anymore. So I will purposely be dropping another student. So that's gonna come down to 2 hours. So because of the price increase, I can actually afford to do that at the moment. So that's kind of worked out in my favour, I guess. It just means I'm working smarter. In an ideal world, I would move that student over here, but just because of their own personal timetable, they were initially working on a Wednesday. They had to come to a Monday. So yeah, that's where I'm up to with this, and that's the impact it's going to have on my budget, and I'm working okay. So I hope all that makes sense. And whilst I'm not actually making more money, that potential £120 that I might have done, I've actually got back what I wanted, which was time, without really losing very much money. Since starting recording this video, I've actually had a text and a payment through from the student that was very much outstanding, and I think because I'd already given a semi-ultimatum, which I felt really guilty and awful about, but yeah, the money's come through. So potentially what I might do going forward then is put her back in, but maybe put her on a week-to-week payment, because I think some people just find that easier. So and I know if I'm on a budget and if I was paid weekly, for example, then that might help me. So I might have a chat with her, see if that works, and then that potentially could mean a difference there for me as well. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I hope that's given you a bit of insight into my budget and how I might be able to, how I work a bit smarter rather than harder, and yeah, you take some of that advice for yourself. Thanks so much for watching, have a great day, and I'll see you really, really soon. Bye.